From high atop the Alex Bones building, live from the Alex Bones studio.
Across over 350 radio stations on the Alex Bones radio network.
This is the #1 syndicated radio show in the world.
The Alex Bones Show.
All right, I have a goal today, Jimmy.
What's that?
My goal is to offend everybody.
Just another day on the front line, forced to apologize. Being who I am, but you better understand it, man. Conversation about feeling like a madman, and Iron Man, and a vampire.
I'm gonna start by pissing you off, Jimmy. You sound stupid. You don't know the lyrics. You just sound like a moron. It is the Alex Bones Show. Yeah, we watch videos and we comment on the videos and we tell you about the videos and we tell you what's right, what's wrong, what's fake, what's not fake, what's good, what's not good. Over 25 million daily listeners listen to this show right here. It is called the Alex Bones Show. That's me.
I'm a soldier.
And I'm Jimmy.
And that's Jimmy. Jimmy, give me a video.
I have a question for people who experienced the 80s. So I work at an 80s themed show.
Oh, you got to answer this because I wasn't even born in the 80s.
I know everything about the 80s. I enjoyed the 80s. I enjoyed from 1980 to 1990. I enjoyed the whole 80s. The whole 80s was the greatest decade. So I will help you out there, person.
So I'm a performer in a tourist town. I'm also
It's a girl.
I don't know if that's a girl or guy. I really did. Them.
26 years old, so that makes me Gen Z, but my parents are Gen X. They were teenagers and young adults in the 80s, so they consider that their prime decade.
It was the prime decade. Hey, you know what? I feel bad for all you people that didn't experience the 80s. You were born too late. You missed a whole decade of excellence. That was the 80s. The 90s sucked. The 2000s sucked. 2010s sucked. All of it sucked. You know why? Because the 1980s were so great. You can't get better than the 1980s. The cars, the fashion, the women, the big hair, all that was great in the 80s. TV, you could watch videos on TV.
Yeah, but you didn't have videos on your phone.
No, but you know what? I could leave my house in the 80s and nobody could get in touch with me until I came back home. That was it. If I didn't want you to get in touch with me, I would just like, I was driving. You know, they couldn't contact me because there was no cell phones. It was great.
They're nostalgic for the TV shows, the music, the fashion. They were actually...
Yeah, TV shows were better. Look at Miami Vice. Look at Greatest American Hero. Look at Elf. Look at all the TV shows from the 80s that were so great.
They're watching Dallas last night.
Dallas was, I didn't watch it, but I thought people liked it.
They have a strong connection to the 80s. They're in their mid-50s now. Here's my question. If you were alive during the 80s, how old are you now? And do you consider that decade to be like your prime decade? Or the decade that you're most nostalgic for?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you my age, but I will tell you that the 80s were great. And that's because everything was great about the 80s. So it's not that I liked that decade. It was that awesome.
Here's why I ask. At any given show, I would say probably half the audience is more like my grandpa's age. So my grandpa came to the show and he knew some of the songs. They're all hits.
Because your grandpa was like 30 and 40 during the 80s. So yeah, he knew all that music.
He was familiar with some of them, but he doesn't have an affinity for that music.
No, because he liked the 60s. He liked that crap.
He's more into
like Riders on the Storm. He likes.
I can play that on a bass. Hold on. How does that song, Riders on the Storm? Be careful who you mourn. Riders on the Storm. Is that how it goes?
No, Jimmy, put it back. Jimmy, put it back. Can't play the Doors on bass because the Doors didn't have a bass player. Anyway, no, your grandpa was alive during then.
50s and 60s stuff.
He was
He would probably rather spend his money if he had to on a ticket to one of the 50s or 60s tribute shows or Neil Diamond or Elvis.
Okay, let's say your grandpa is 70. Okay, so, God, now I got to do math. So, oh, dear God. If I do math, get my phone out here. So we try to figure out what if he's 70 years old now, your grandpa, okay, what year was he born?
He was born in like 1980.
No, he was born in 1955.
Wow, that was like the 50s.
Yeah, so he was born in the 50s. So we're going to add 20 to 1950, and that is what, Jimmy?
1975.
Okay, so 1970 to 1981 was his generation of music. That's where he was like 18, 17. He was around that time. That's the music that he likes. He doesn't like Elvis. That's for 90-year-olds. But for your grandpa, he's like 70-something. He was into Riders on the Storm. Don't play that song again, Jimmy.
I don't know that song, so I'm not going to play it. But name something else from the 70s that I can play.
So because
No, you're not going to play anything. I'm going to hide that bass from you.
So I'm a little bit surprised that a lot of our audience, on some days most of our audience, are, silent generation, older boomers. But
No, they're not. They're like 70.
Silent generation. So it could just be because that's the demographic who go to shows. And, or maybe
it's the only people that can afford tickets, because they got money. They got nothing else to do.
Like 80s music because their kids listen to it. I think that's my assumption.
No, they were alive then. They were like 30. Okay. 30 and 40. 30 and 40-year-olds listen to music. 30-year-olds know what's hip and what's not hip. What's fake and what's not fake. They know that. So they were listening to that music when they were 35.
But I just can't imagine my parents being nostalgic for like the 2000s or like 2010s, like when they get older.
No, we don't. We don't care because all that crap sucked. All that music.
That's what it would.
Well, the 2000s were the greatest music.
2000s were not the greatest music, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was. It was a great time.
I was in the music business in the 2000s. It wasn't a good time.
Kind of be equivalent to, I guess. So that's why I ask, is because, you might have been older than my parents during the 80s, but you still consider that to be like the decade that you're most nostalgic for. So, yeah, if anybody could fill me in on their theory as to why that's the case, it's just interesting to me. I love that they like 80s music. Like, it's great. But
it was awesome. That's why. It's not because we're nostalgic for it. We kind of are, but we're not. The reason is because it was good. It's not crap like today's music is crap. Okay? It's good crap.
Thank you. Next.
This just in, breaking news. We're already dead. So this is the already dead theory. This is how it works.
Did he say we're already dead?
Yeah, he said we're already dead.
When did we die?
I don't know.
Yeah, if we're already dead, then why are we talking and walking around?
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone in this reality, we're already past. However, we have to go through some prerequisites in order to pass over to the other side.
Okay, I will blow your theory out of the water there, guy.
How are you going to do that?
My back hurts. If I was dead, my back wouldn't hurt. My head wouldn't hurt. My body wouldn't ache. Okay? I'm not dead.
And to do so, we have to go through the 5 stages of grief. So the first stage is denial.
Okay, I'm denial phase. I'm not dead.
Know how to process it. And in order to protect itself, it goes into denial in order to continue functioning. And so we begin in this realm in a state of denial.
Yeah, you're denying it. I don't deny it. I believe I'm dead.
Jimmy, you're not dead because watch.
Ow!
See, I hit you in the arm. Did you feel it?
Yeah, now I'm gonna hit you back. Ow! Don't you hit me again.
Yeah, see, you felt that, right? Now, do you feel this?
Ow! You slapped me in the face.
So, if you were dead, you wouldn't be able to feel me hitting you and slapping you in the face.
I'm going to HR.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. As soon as this show's over, I'm going to tell them you're mean. You hit me twice. You slapped me.
Then we go into anger. We transition to anger because we're upset with the reality that we see.
Jimmy, shut up. You're dead.
We see bad things
Now you going to tell me I'm dead?
happening.
That's what this guy
We
says.
see bad people prospering and nothing happens to them. We see children starving. So the layers start to fall back. And so we're in anger. Now, once
Yeah, I got anger. I'm going to take it out on Jimmy.
Don't you hit me again. I swear, I'm going to HR. If you're listening to this show right now, call HR and tell them
we need a
I
coping
was hit
mechanism
on
to
the
help
air
us
and I
sort
got
out
tape
these
to
things
prove it.
because the things don't make sense.
I don't care. I'll fire
So
you
we
and
turn to
hire somebody else.
spirituality, We turn to religion. We turn
Grow bear balls.
to philosophy to help us cope with these
Told
things.
you my
Why do
goal is to piss everybody off
these
today.
things happen?
And I'm dead because this guy said I'm dead, so I don't care.
So each religion and each philosophy has a different perspective on the reality. But
What is he
it
talking
helps
about?
us to negotiate
I don't know.
the
I
things
got
that
a
we don't
black eye.
understand.
Look, you
to
gave me a
explain
black
things that we
eye.
don't know.
You'll get
Now,
over it.
those negotiation
Little pussy.
techniques or those coping mechanisms work for a while, but then they stop. Then we get
I was just trying to prove to you that you weren't dead.
to a depression. Now,
Yeah, but you gave me black eye.
that's when the
Girl
facade is
bear
really
balls.
falling. We realize that the things that we use as coping mechanisms in spirituality, in religion,
Okay, dude, you're walking, like getting exercise while you're doing this TED Talk here. So if you're walking and trying to do a TED Talk, and you say we're dead, and you say you're dead, then why are you breathing hard and why are you sweating?
Yeah, that means he's not dead. That means I'm not dead. That means you're going to go to jail for
in philosophy,
abuse.
just
Don't-
they don't
they
suffice.
put
They
me
don't
in
make
jail.
any sense. They don't explain things accurately
I'll hit
enough
you
or well
again.
enough for us. And so we
Shut
get
up.
depressed and
Sit
we're
down,
kind of
Jimmy.
like
Sit
sitting
down
in
and
this
take it like a
reality,
man.
not understanding, not believing, and questioning everything. Then finally we get tired of questioning.
God, he's a little
And we
girl.
accept. That's
God.
the final.
He can't
phase.
take anything.
We accept reality what it is. We accept maybe we're dead.
Does that mean I can take off this whole week then?
Yeah, call in sick and tell him you're dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you're not going to be working next week anyway because I'm going to get you fired because of HR and you hit me.
Shut up.
Thank you. Next.
So we know I don't care what you drive and when you come pick me up for our date. But the real question is, are you going to buy me a hot dog and a Coke Zero at the drag strip?
Okay, I'll buy you a hot dog and I'll buy you a Coke Zero. That's fine. But we ain't going to no drag strip.
Yeah, you got to take a girl out to drag strip run. Drag, how you say that?
Drag strip.
Drag strip.
Drag strip.
Drag strip. I can't say that word because you knocked my tooth loose. Look,
So if you take a broad to a first date on a drag strip and you just buy her a hot dog and a Coke Zero, she's not going to be happy. She's not going to date you again. So you're 1 in a million there, girl, that will put up with that. No other girl that I have ever taken out. Where are we going on our first date? I'm taking you to a drag strip.
Drag strip.
No girl's going to stand for that.
Because that's going to be our date. I want to go to the drag strip. I don't want to go to some high-rise Atlanta damn restaurant.
Well, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But you know what? It's hot out there, and there's bees, and people are loud, and there's people. Oh my God, there's people out there. I don't want to go there.
I'm trying to bet, big dog. I'm trying to bet.
Okay, I'm trying to get with you. I'm not going to get with you at the drag strip over a hot dog and a Coke Zero. Okay,
Drag strip.
we're not going there.
Bet you $2 a race. Run it.
Yeah, run it. Not going to do it. Okay, sorry.
Drag strip.
Thank you. Next.
Don't hit Jimmy again.
don't you hit me again.
He said, no, they're going to ask you some very disturbing questions, questions that may make you upset. He said, just answer the question, yes or no. Don't
Okay, this is what it's like to be interviewed by the CIA.
Like for a job?
Yeah, like for a job. So if you want to go get a job and work for the CIA, here's some questions they're going to ask you.
Don't think about it.
Don't think about the answer. Just tell them.
They say, have you ever killed anybody? Say, no. Don't think about what it might feel like to kill somebody. Just say no and focus on the spec.
Okay, Jimmy, have you ever killed somebody?
No.
Well, see, you thought about it. See, you're not going to get the job with the CIA. Try me.
Okay, Alex, have you ever killed somebody?
No.
See, I don't believe you, though.
Well, I didn't say you had to believe me. You got to answer quick.
I go to the address, and it's this, normal office tower that Rosalind's famous for. And I go up to whatever it was. I think it was the 6th floor. And there's no name on the door. Nothing. It's just a door.
He's got to go work for the Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black.
The best of the best of the best, sir. Yeah, with honors.
So I knock on the door, and this guy opens the door just a crack.
And you have to slide him a 20.
He says, "Are you here for Bob?" And I said, "Yes." So he lets me in, and it's a little 6 by 6 foot atrium.
So these are real flying saucers, and the World's Fair was just a cover-up for their landing.
Why else would we hold it in Queens?
But the second door has a big spin dial lock on it, like a bank, right? So he does the dial, and there's a woman on the other side. And she said, "Are you here for Bob?" And I said, "I am." So she
Who's Bob?
He's your uncle.
Lets me in, and I'm sitting there. And then Bob comes out. I still, to this day, I have no idea if his name really was Bob. And that's the only name I ever knew him by.
Observation. The heart of our little endeavor. Meet the twins. And Bob.
But he was like a 6'6", 320-pound, loud, smiling, good old guy. "John, I'm Bob. How the hell are ya?" And he shakes my hand. "Come on in." So he says, "Jerry says you're a good guy." I said, "Well, I appreciate it." I said, "He's an amazing professor. He's a great guy." And he says, "John, let me ask you something."
So when he asks you something, you just got to answer. You can't think about it, Jimmy, okay?
Oh, I can't go, and then answer?
No, you got to answer him real quick.
Have you ever betrayed a friendship?
Have you ever betrayed a friendship, Jimmy? See? You're screwed. You didn't answer. You just got to say no.
Okay, have you ever betrayed a friendship?
Hell yeah.
When?
I don't know. I answered.
And I was like, "Oh,
See, he's thinking about it. That's why he didn't get the job. That's why Bob kicked him out.
I don't think so. I hope not." He said, "Okay, that's okay. Listen, I want you to do a couple of things for me." He says, "I want you to go to this address. There are going to be some people there waiting for you." And I said, "Like right now?" And he says, "Yeah, right now." I said, "Okay." He said, "Then I want you to call me, or better yet, I'll call you." I said, "Okay." So I go home, I get in my car, I drive out to this equally nondescript building in Vienna, Virginia. 1-story flat building that you would drive.
Are you getting paid for this?
Yeah, are you already on the payroll? Because you're jumping through a lot of hoops for this Bob guy.
Yeah, so Bob better hire you, because if you go in, you shake his hand, and you go into the door with the lock, and then he makes you drive somewhere else, you better be getting paid.
If passed 1,000 times, you would never notice it. So I ring the bell. This guy lets me in.
He said, "Are you here for Bob?"
"You, John?" And I said, "Yeah, come on in." So I go there, and there's a table with 3 chairs on one side and 1 chair on the other.
Oh, no, it's like a college exam.
And in the 3 chairs are 3 people who never identified themselves by name.
Meet the twins. And Bob.
But they identified themselves as being a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and an anthropologist.
An anthropologist?
Yeah, don't they dig up dinosaur bones?
Yeah, I think so.
So I sit down. No hello, how are you? Nothing. I just sit down. I said hello. They all just kind of looked at me. And then one of them says, describe your relationship with your mother.
Yeah, Jimmy. Describe your relationship with your mother. See, you screwed up again. You can't say, You just got to answer.
Oh, well, she's really good to me, and she washes my clothes, and she makes me lunch, and she makes me dinner, and she's really good, and she gives me money, and I like my mom.
Okay.
Okay, now you do it. What's your relationship with my mom?
I sleep with your mom.
Hey!
You said your mom.
Oh, I guess I did. Don't hit me again.
And I go, oh. I said, yeah, my mom and I are close. She's a school teacher, and, she's a terrific mother and very nurturing and, took good care of all three of us. And,
Now listen, Jimmy, from now on, when somebody interviews you for the CIA, you don't think about it. You just come out and say it. Okay? Just give them an answer. If it's fake answer or real answer, just come out with it. Don't say, don't think about it. Just do it.
Thank you. Next.
What's the name of one metal or rock song that you never skip, no matter how many times you hear it?
Metal or rock song. Anything by Van Halen. Master of Puppets.
Oh, I can play that.
Don't you play no Metallica on my bass.
Master of puppets, I'm pulling the strings. Bring your brain. Look at my eyes, and you can't see a thing. Just call my name, cause I hear you scream. Master.
You feel better now?
Yeah, I can play Master of Puppets.
You weren't playing it right, but I'm going to say Master of Puppets. That's mine.
I mean, I'll say like Black Sabbath. That's such a good song. I never skip that one. I like that one because it speaks of the Satan and stuff, and I think it's cool.
All right, so Jimmy listens to Black Sabbath. I listen to Metallica. We don't skip it. That's our non-skip metal songs.
Thank you. Next.
Tell me one fact about your industry or profession that the general public would be shocked to find out. I do burials for work, so I'll go first. When people are buried in a casket, there is almost a 0% chance that casket ever touches dirt. It doesn't matter how long it's buried, unless it's part of their custom to put dirt on the casket. That casket will never touch dirt.
Oh, God, no. Window. Oh, my God. Look. It says Windows is continuously improving and updates are a normal part of keeping your Windows running smoothly. Next update for you is ready. So tell us when you'd like us to restart your device and install it. Not now. I'm on the air. Dear God. Remind me again tomorrow. Oh, why? How about never? Because I'm always on the air. There's never a good time for you to update my... I hate Windows. I hate them all. Bill Gates is a piece of shit. He put things in my body that they track me when I got that damn COVID shot. I don't trust Windows. I don't trust Bill Gates. He wants to do an update because he wants to track me more.
Go hustle hard, hustle every single day.